Hi there, and welcome to this practice for spacey hips and grounded legs. Be sure to read the disclaimer. And also, I practiced to this soundtrack, Monet, and it was really wonderful. So if you want to join me, that's available on YouTube. Coming to your mat with your feet a little wider than hip width apart. Spread your toes and reroot them and rock back and forth. Rocking from the toes back to the heels. And then allow your hands to come to your lower back and just smooth that tissue downward, taking the tailbone toward gravity, releasing the lower back. And then taking the hands around to the front, smoothing through the front side of the body, down the hips and thighs. And then rocking gently back and forth, hands on hips. Allow your hands to help you really root through the legs, through the bones of the legs and into the earth. And then with an inhalation, allow the arms to float up overhead. Maybe the hands come together, maybe not. Maybe you look up, maybe you stay looking straight ahead. Exhaling down. Now you're going to lean into one knee at a time, just shifting your weight back and forth. The toes are staying pointed forward. Just feeling the impact of shift of weight through that whole side of the body. Now we're going to add an elbow and shoulder. So you can either lead with the shoulder or the elbow, or try both. As you continue to lean right to left. And just feeling now that rib cage on the opening side, expanding, making some room for deeper breaths or even a yawn. And feel the rhythm of your movement back to stillness. Again, just feeling a shift of weight now right to left, keeping the hips square. So from here, let's go into a deep bend with the knees, hands on the thighs with the fingertips facing in, flat back. You can round and then flatten again, and prepare to go into a forward fold with the knees staying bent. And then just holding on wherever is comfortable, either remaining higher on your leg or at your ankles or even all the way to the floor. I'm just turning so you have a better view here. And I'm playing a little bit with my weight right to left, as well as the weight from heel to toe. And as you soften, just drape. You're also welcome to use blocks here to bring the floor a little closer to you in your forward fold. Softening the back lines of the legs and preparing to come up to a flat back with, again, the hands resting on the thighs, fingertips facing each other. Let's get ready for some cat-cow-like movement. So we will bring the chest through and then arch, bringing the chin to chest. So just go at your own pace here, breathing in as you open the chest forward, exhaling as you round. And really concentrate on the sensation of length through the spine here, because that's going to come into play as we proceed. And then to come up, just bend a little deeper. Get your legs right under you to come up with ease. And now step your left foot forward, right foot back. And all we're doing here is just feeling the ground through the feet and the weight shifting. Now we're going to lean onto that left thigh with the hands, again, fingertips facing each other, hands layered one on top of the other. Now, what I'd like you to feel for here is both your strength through that grounded leg and space between the left thigh and your belly as you move towards a warrior 3 position. Use that purchase of hand against thigh to help you lengthen, as well as using the extension of the leg all the way through the heel and from the tailbone all the way through the crown of the head. Now feel free to play around with your arms if you want to bring them behind your back, out to the sides, or if you feel strong enough, forward. And then release back into a forward fold. And we'll prepare for the second side. Now, it's true for me and for most people that one side is stronger than the other, and I'm about to do the weak side. So you'll see that I do not have the same ability to maintain the position on the second side. So if that happens to you, it's perfectly fine. Just practice, and over time you'll get stronger. And even if over time one side doesn't really improve, that's okay too. It's not the destination that's important, it's the journey. So I'm just repeating some cat-cow-like movements here, same way we did before. And then getting ready to go to the other side with the right foot forward, left leg back. So really feel that floor as you press in with the toes. Really get a sense of how your weight is distributed as you rest against that thigh, kind of leaning. You're really using the bones here to feel grounded and strong, creating that space between thigh and core, and then coming into your warrior 3. If you're wobbling and shaking, know that that's part of the process and actually part of the development of the strength. As I wobble and completely lose it. So I'm going to try again here after I shake out. And what happens for me is, because I have that weakness in that side, the left side back is where I have a lot of my issues. And so I was starting to feel some cramping there because it's weak. And so on this side, you can play with your arms again. I don't do so much of that because, again, I'm just not strong enough, especially to bring the arms forward. As you'll see. So, just coming back to a standing position with the feet about hip width apart. If there's any constriction or lingering contraction, just let that go. A nice yawn here, just enveloped as I opened my arms out to the side with the wrists facing upward. Just feeling that line of fascia from pinky to pinky and thumb to thumb. And lowering. So we will sink down into a forward fold again. And turn it into a downward dog. So walk the arms a little forward of the shoulders and the feet back. Opening the backs of the legs to the space behind you. allowing the chest to sink through that sternum, sinking into gravity or towards gravity. And then feel free to bicycle the feet if that feels good. Remember, you don't have to have straight legs in downward dog. It can be really nice to come up to both toes and feel the full length of the legs, and then dropping down into all fours and just kind of stretching out the feet for a moment. Doing some ankle circles before I position myself into child's pose. Enjoying that draping sensation of the back body around the front body. Here, if you'd like, you can play a little bit with the exhalation and bringing in the core towards the center, so creating space once more between belly and thigh. When you're ready, come back to all fours. Extend the right leg out to the side at about the level of the hip or a little higher. And you can either stay like that, it might be enough of a stretch for you. If you'd like more, just explore some cat-cow-like movements here with the leg extended. And try your best not to lean onto the left side as you move with the right leg extended. So stay equally weighted through both hands. And then drop the right elbow and turn to look at your right leg. The other arm is just staying as it was. Breathe. And back up to release that side, taking the left leg out. Again, either holding there or moving in some cat-cow-like movements. Maintaining as best you can equal weight on your 3 centered limbs. And dropping that left elbow now. Experiment where you place your head. Maybe you want to look down, maybe you want to look through or under your arm, maybe you want to look at your leg. Breathe. And release back to all fours. And let's come to sit on the heels. And we'll just have the feet flat to begin. So if you need a rolled towel under your ankles or perhaps a block under your bottom, feel free to use that. And if you want to bend the toes back for a deeper stretch through the feet, you can do that now. It's also really nice if this is really intense for you to just do one foot at a time. Let the other foot rest against the floor. That's an option. And now swing your legs around in front of you. Let's explore half saddle here. So we'll bend that right leg back, moving the calf out of the way. And now I notice that I'm rolling off to the left, so I'm going to grab this blanket, tuck it under my left hip to raise it up, and that will help me maintain a straight back without rolling onto that hip. This position right here might be enough for some of you. If you'd like a deeper stretch through that thigh, then just start to walk yourself back and lean on your forearms. You don't want to arch your back here or allow your ribs to poke up. So if you are doing that, you might just be a little too low and need to come up a bit. And of course, if the knee isn't touching the floor, we'll just give it a moment. It may very well soften and drop, all of its own accord. Breathe through the stretch. If you want an even deeper sensation, you can cross the left leg on top of the thigh. And then as things begin to soften, you might even want to extend that left leg towards the body and then grabbing hold of the toes or the ankle with the opposite arm and just extending the leg into space, whether it straightens or not. Again, it's certainly not important. And then let's come back up. We will lean off to the left to bring the right leg around and give a shake to that leg. And let's go to the other side. So I'm going to set myself up on my blanket. Take the left leg back, move the calf. Sit up nice and tall and just feel first the sensations here before I go deeper. If the body gives the green light, I can go ahead and start to lean back on my elbows. Or your elbows. You can't lean back on my elbows. Breathe. And then if you want a deeper sensation, crossing that right leg over the thigh of the left. I think it took me a little longer on this side to release. There we go. And if you have any knee issues, it might be a wise choice to keep that right leg, or foot rather, flexed. Protect the knee joint. And then if you'd like to give a try to the extension of the leg, go ahead and grab hold somewhere with the opposite arm. And release that. Roll onto that right hip in order to release the left leg. We'll take the legs forward and bounce them to shake them out. Feel free to point and flex the toes or make circles with the ankles, whatever feels good here. We're going to come onto the back now. Constructive rest with the knees bent. And we arrive for the first time on the floor, so enjoying that sensation of the ground beneath you, allowing you to soften postural muscles. And just noting any sensation through the hips, the core, the feet, the thighs. anywhere. Let's take the arms overhead in a nice upper body reach. And then relaxing the arms alongside the body again. Let's come into Shavasana. Before coming into stillness, just squeeze one buttock and then the other. And then squeeze a little faster and then a little faster until you are rocking side to side just from the impetus of that gluteal muscle. Softening the hips all around. Into stillness. So I'm going to invite you now to place one hand on your heart, the other on your belly. Something really unexpected happened to me here. Well, not totally unexpected. Unexpected for a YouTube video. But I had an emotional release and I started to cry. And originally I was going to take this out of the video and just edit it out completely. And then I thought, no, people need to see this. You know, this is sometimes what happens when we work with the body and we move energy and we displace obstruction. And energy starts to flow again. So it was brief. It was powerful but brief, and it felt really good. I think a lot of it had to do with the music that I was listening to, the medicina. So don't fear those releases. They're important to allow. Just a moment of stillness here. Deepening in the silence and your own breath. So let's prepare to come out now. I'm going to just take a long body stretch here. You're welcome to do whatever you like. Kind of coming into a star pose and then coming into a little ball. Rocking on my back right to left. Allowing the head to follow. And then go opposite the knees. Rolling onto the side. Taking a moment in this tender fetal position. Feeling nurtured. And then using that top arm to come up head last. Sitting in easy pose. Just feeling yourself in space and the result of your practice as you bring your hands to your heart in Anjali Mudra. A little bow to honor yourself. Thank you for joining me today. Be brave, be free. See you soon.